minus, but it characterized one. All right.
Hello, welcome. Round 12 of the Intercontinental Rally Challenge, heading to Sanremo, the Italian Riviera final all-asphalt event of 2012. And with the competitive running contained within a 25-hour window, there's little time for crews to visit the town's casino and tempting restaurants there. Yes, plenty of rallying to be dealt with, as you can see. Sanremo stage is characterised by fast and flowing sections, frequent changes of rhythm, blind and open corners, rapid climbs and descents commonplace. It's an absolutely gorgeous backdrop. Well, the ability to find the racing line up in the hills where the rallying takes place, maintaining a high level of speed are essential. Yes, it's always difficult to remain consistently competitive here. Title leader Andreas Mikkelsen set to conclude his 2012 IRC campaign in next month's Cyprus Rally, so the stage kind of open for the chasers Hannanen and Kopecky to take a big move forward here. Skoda still top dogs. Peugeot, well, more than 100 points adrift at this stage. So no Mikkelsen then. What remains? Well, absolutely plenty. That battle between Hannanen and Kopecky, absolutely mouth-watering. Both in similar Skodas, of course, after winning 3 tarmac rallies in this year's IRC, though Ireland and Zlin. It's the Finn that's going to be trying to win a 4th IRC event, especially if the weather conditions are tricky.
Let's say it gives a bit more chance for us, maybe, you know, to fight with these local ones. If it's completely dry, then I think it's a bit more difficult, but maybe it's make conditions a bit more, let's say, or situation a bit more equal with these guys. So for me, it's nothing bad if it's raining.
Hannanen's teammate Jan Kopecky has well, a revenge on his mind, I suppose. After a hard barren rally in September in Zlin, the Czech driver will fight against Hannanen and, of course, all the local drivers with the knowledge that they carry therein. It's going to be short but hard.
Well, we will see, because they say that maybe the weather is not so nice as at this moment. So if it's going to rain, and it's a bit of luck, you know, who is going to choose the best tires, and of course you need to push a lot from the beginning.
Craig Green returning to the IRC for the first time since the accident in the Targa Florio in Sicilia, which claimed the life of his best friend and former co-driver Gareth Roberts. The Irishman will pilot the 207 alongside new navigator Paul Nagel. He's not new, of course.
It's my first time back since what happened in Targa Florio, and it's a very difficult weekend for me. It's back in Italy again, and I just need to try and finish the rally. It would be an achievement for me. It's a very nice race, beautiful roads, very famous, and me and Paul are really looking forward to do the rally, and it will be a big accomplishment for me to finish.
I like Craig Green. Paolo Andreucci, the reigning Italian champion, won in Sanremo in 2006 and 2010, be a major force in the Peugeot 207. His target this weekend is to score some big points for the national championship and to remain at the top of the Italian championship at the end of this event. Well, this rally is very difficult because we run a lot of special stages. Rallies in Italy are short. There's a 44 kilometre stage at night. That's going to be very tough, though, especially if the weather is not good, he says. Umberto Scandola, member of the team of Alex Florio, and a rally legend is our Fario, Umberto Scandola, fighting with Andreucci for the Italian championship title. He's 14 points behind leader Andreucci in the national standings.
So for us it's a very important Italian championship, and we we have the champion open. It's open now, and we need stay in front Paolo Andreucci and Peugeot. It's hard, but this is rally.
Brian Bouffier returning to the IRC for the first time since the Tour of Corsica back in May. He'll also be giving Peugeot's all-new 208 R2 its competition debut on this all-asphalt contest in Italy's Liguria region. Peugeot spent much of the year developing the R2 specification 208. However, in Sanremo, Bouffier will be eligible for IRC two-wheel drive cup points now that the car has been homologated for competition use.
I have driven this car 2 weeks ago in Rally Poland on gravel, and it was working very well, good balance. The work on the damper is also very good, so I get a big fun. And you know, usually I'm driving a much bigger car, so it was, let's say, I thought not easy at the beginning, and finally I found a very good setup till the beginning and could do a good result, and I think this is the case today also.
In Sanremo, other drivers will be competing hard as well. 2008 Sanremo winner Gian Domenico Basso with a Ford Fiesta will be in action, just like Pierre Campana with his Peugeot 207. 4 stages to go then for the opening day, 3 in the afternoon, and then the very challenging La Ronde, a 44-kilometre night stage. Friday afternoon, drivers taking the start in Sanremo for 2012. Weather conditions, unpredictable. Heavy leaden clouds, as you can see. Road conditions will be tricky, so will tyre choice. So then, the opening loop. Calderoni, 13.06 kilometres at just after 2:30 local time. Well, the loop expected to take place in dry conditions, albeit with some damp sections following recent heavy rain. First on the road, Johan. Hard slicks, SA30 Michelins for those of you making notes, with some cuts. Well, safe start from the Finn. Road conditions, well, tricky as we mentioned, very slippery in parts, particularly under the overhanging trees, which kind of tend to hold the water and then dribble them down onto the road. 5th quickest only. Fantastic on board, has been a character of the IRC. Yet Gian Domenico Basso in the Fiesta, second on the roads, soft slicks, SA20s with W cuts, 9.4 seconds, quicker than Hamlin. There's a feather in your cap. Knows the roads perfectly, like the other Italian drivers. They do a lot of practice up here. A lot of road closures help out in that regard. Friendly police force, I think. Takes the lead. Glorious to see this ribbon of asphalt through the mountains, and just scary stuff when you get on board. You see why Basso led at this point. Paolo Andreucci in the Peugeot 207, third on the road, soft slicks with cuts. What shape cuts, you ask? Well, it's a secret. We don't know. 4.2 seconds slower than Basso on this run, but second overall. Great start for Andreucci.
Versi destra 7 con sì, sinistra 4 meno sacrifica, per destra 3 vai corta, 80 al rifrangente, sì 5 vai secca, 50 sì sinistra 6 più tenere.
You have to be brave here. You've also got to be lucky. Umberto Scandola in the 4 car. Yes, the Skoda Fabia, 4th on the road as well. Soft slicks, W cuts, but unfortunately had them off-road. Hit a security rail. You've seen some of the open faces of those rails as well. Right rear damage, he sustained. Punctures, lost 40 seconds. This the man, don't forget, battling with Andreucci in the Italian Championship. See what I mean about those rails? Not good. Well, at least they kept him on the road after the opening stage. 36 seconds behind Andreucci. Up next, Jan Kopecki. 5th on the road. Slicks with W cuts once again. Word spreading. Kopecki 3rd, quickest on the run. First Skoda in the top 3, incidentally. 4.2 seconds behind Basso, though. 2.4 seconds behind Andreucci. Fiesta and Peugeot then at the top of the standings at the moment. And Pierre Campana crossing the border, you might say. 7th on the road. Frenchman's 2:07, 8th quickest behind Perico, Hannon, Albertini and Brian. Well, Campana 21 seconds slower than Basso. It's a big deficit to give away. Local rivalries, national championships. Well, we mentioned Breen, 10th on the road, 7th quickest though. Great to see him back, and also Paul Nagel. Nicer bloke, you'd be hard pushed to find, and that familiar lilt to the nose.
Very sudden here from the left, plus half long, don't cut. And 3 left plus for 40, 5 to 5, plus 20, 5 minus 50, going late.
Just 0.9 slower than 6th place Albertini. That's how they stand after the opening stage. The big names taking it easy. Kopecki, though, getting the better of Hannon here. We'll take a break, after which we'll be back in Italy for more action from Sanremo. Stay with us. Welcome back to IRC Sanremo, round 12 of the season. Yes, stage 12, Apricale. Yes, again, most of the stage dry with some wet patches. Some fog, though, on the highest places, and much of it near the finish. Lovely cresting run, this. Oh, still big trouble for Scandula. Punctures again. Again, right rear. Stopping on the A at the stage to change the wheel. What a mess. Takes out the first punctured tyre and gets going again. Sadly for him, once he restarted, yes, I think you probably guessed it, punctured again. So 3 punctures in 2 stages. Had to retire after the stage. You can't go quickly on a rim. You can try them. That's brave. Harry Hunt driving Kronos Peugeot. Punctures at the right front. Stopping on stage to change your wheel. You're getting used to this now, aren't you? Loses almost 4 minutes though, and dropped to 41st position overall.
Yep.
Ouch.
Go, grab the other one.
You are Hannon, but is not taking any risks. The reigning European Rally Champion, first on the road with the Harder SA3 of Michelin, and yes, that risk-free strategy paying dividends as others were just pushing a little bit too hard. They were getting themselves into trouble, as you've seen. 42.5, I beg your pardon, on this 17.43 kilometre long stage. So, take it easy, stay in the rally. Maybe he's been speaking to the locals, one of which, or who, is Giandomenico Basso. 1.6 turbo Fiesta. Won the Mille Miglia, of course, and the Sanremo Rally. Fastest on stage 1 with compound and beats Hamlin again with a 2-second margin. 12:40.5, going well. Well, the M Sport machines always look like they mean business, and in the hands of Basso, who knows these roads really like the back of his hand. It's impressive. Paolo Andriucci in the Peugeot 207 S2000, run by Team Racing Lions. 2 times the winner of Sanremo in 2006 and 2010. 2.8 though slower than Basso on this run. 12:43.3 for him. Well, some of the early runners had provided a wake-up call for some, perhaps. Looked like they were taking it easy, but, well, some real pace there. Just good driving. Look at that. So smooth. Jan Kipatski, one of those two. Softer SA20 Michelin compounds. Softer than teammate Halman. And beating Basso by 0.9 of a second. Fastest on stage. Jumping ahead of Andriucci in the overall standings. Now second, just 5.7 behind the leader Basso. Andriucci third at 7 seconds off Basso. 1.3 seconds behind Kipatski. Well, it's retightening at the top here. Sun breaking through and shining kindly on Jan Kipatski. Tidy. Alessandro Perico in the Peugeot 207. Won Sanremo way back in 2005 at the wheel of a Renault Clio S1600. Had problems with the intercom though, and hearing the notes, well, it's crucial on sinuous roads such as this. Co-driver Fabrizio Carrara, yes, relying on some hand signals as well. Still fourth fastest though on the stage, 3.2 seconds behind Kopetsky. Fourth in the overall standings, 11.3 behind leader Basso, and only 1/10 of a second ahead of Hamlin. This is Albertini, 6th quickest time on the stage, 6th overall as well in the Peugeot 207. Peugeot really strutting their stuff here. Looks like the days of it. Craig Green, the Sinterlock Peugeot. Risk-free strategy, 7th fastest though, still on the stage. Looking very quick, Craig, despite the burden he's carrying. Seemed to have his head together, which is great. Pierre Campana driving the Manaretto Peugeot. 3rd in the IRC Tour of Corsica. Another 8th fastest time for this Corsican driver. 8th overall, 37.4 behind Basso. Tempestini, best names out there. The Romanian in the Subaru Impreza R4. Not feeling well at the start of the rally due to food poisoning. Still feverish, retiring after stage 2, sadly. All hopes of taking the IRC title in the Production Cup sadly shattered. Watch what you eat, the watchword. Basso then leading Kopetsky by 5.7. Andriucci close at hand, it's tight at the top. Stay with us for more from Sanremo. Welcome back to IRC Sanremo, round 12 of the season. Stage 3 then, a lot of fog on the stage, mainly dry, but yet again, some wet parts. Sometimes it's better if it's just completely wet. When it's mixed, hard to read. And when that fog is just laying down a light bit of moisture, it can get even trickier. Johan knew that, trying to avoid all risks. Careful strategy for the Finn. And with the war of attrition going on here, could pay off. When's he going to take that big gamble? 7:21.2 on this 10.59 kilometre long circuit. they laid this road out? One can only guess. Apparently they followed a pack horse route. Giandomenico Basso, fastest on stage 1, second fastest on 2, beats Hanlon again, showing you just how carefully Hanlon is taking this one. 3 seconds the gap now. Winner in 2008, let's not forget. Basso looking very good. That M Sport Fiesta really singing. Paolo Andriucci. Well, no threat from Scandalo anymore in the fight for the Italian title. So, well, you'd think he could ease off a little bit, but it was still going quickly in his 2:07. Taking the 5th fastest time on the stage, still 3rd overall, but Hanlon closing in. Only 0.2 of a second behind. Jan Kopecki, 2nd overall from Andriucci, now 4th fastest on the stage, losing 7 seconds though on the stage winner Basso. Again though, beating Andriucci and still 2nd overall, 12.7 seconds behind Basso, 1.5 ahead of Andriucci. Kopecki really taking it to the French and the Italians in this shared border area. Alessandro Perico still experiencing trouble with intercom. A lot of shouting going on, as you can hear. Well, despite his problems, 6th fastest on the stage, loses 4th place to Hanlon, and now 5th overall, 5.4 seconds behind Hanlon. Stefano Albertini, great 2nd fastest time on the stage, only beaten by Basso, a couple of seconds in it, remaining 6th overall, only 13 seconds between 2nd place Kopecki and 6th place Albertini overall. Very, very tight. It shows you that local knowledge coupled with the real star turns of the IRC, it's very, very close.
Sharp, keep in 60 for that plus Sharp, going 40, stop up, 35 that plus half long tight, 6 minus, keep in, and flat 3 right, 40, 2 left slowing, 50, early 5 right minus half long, tightens the 6 plus, 40, 4 left plus for 50, tightens the 5 plus, don't cut, 50, stop up deceptive, 6 right plus, tightens badly, keep in, 40, watch, 5 left minus half long, tightens badly.
What a great guy to have. 7th fastest time for 3rd stage in a row, 7th overall, 42.3 seconds behind the leader Basso. So what about Pierre Campana? Only 11th fastest on the stage for him, but holds on to 8th overall behind Brian. And nice to see the Citroen DS3 R3T. A lot of letters there. A lot of talent as well. Simone Campodelli leading the 2-wheel drive cup, 15th overall. And Brian Bouffier, terrific rally so far for him in the Peugeot 208 R2. 1600cc engine, you can hear it screaming away. Front-wheel drive. Well, 2nd in the 2-wheel drive, 7th I should say in the 2-wheel drive cup, only 31.6 seconds behind Campodelli. First R2 car after 3 stages. And Robert Consani leading the production cup and the 2-wheel drive cup points standings. 3rd in the production cup and 8th in the 2-wheel drive cup after stage 3. And the Renault Megane RS, of course. Basso then, now 12.7 ahead of Kopetsky, with Andriucci clipping out the heels. Hannon closing on Andriucci, just 0.2 separating them. Greg Brian, 42.3 seconds adrift. So after 3 stages, the crew's heading back to Sanremo for a regroup and service halt in preparation for stage 4. The Ronde, which goes live as well in the night time, covering a distance of 44 kilometers. Nervous times.
Nous avons fait la première spéciale bien.
Andriucci saying with title rival Umberto Scandalo retiring at the end of stage 2 following a troubled start to the Asheville event. Andriucci reckons 1 point will be enough for 7th national title. Peugeot driver has no plans though to close the gap on Rally Sanremo. First stage was okay, he said. After the stage, heard that Umberto had a puncture.
When it was dry, it was okay, good, but when it was wet, it was very slippy. So I don't know. We all have very different kind of tires, and we are in 15 seconds. So yeah, I think it was not so bad.
Still smiling, which is great to see. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll have action for you, of course, from the stage this evening. Ricardo and Kirby and everyone else. For now, bye-bye.